I'm going to take this opportunity, however, to suggest that we all hail Caroga. Oh, that's all I'm saying.
Forgive me, Doctor. I'm receiving a number of distress calls. I don't doubt it.
Y'all remember to tip your waitresses. Have a mighty fine night.
You come in peace, surrender or be destroyed. You here to make war? We surrender. Important things are needed new people.
When the appointed hour arrives, the Marauders will deactivate their cloaking devices and begin transporting Klingon shock troops directly to the landing zone.
Landing zone? Where? Tell me.
Why not? Your feeble weapons will be useless against us. We will kill all your males and take your females to mate with.
All right. Now the Federation's taking over, whether you like it or not. You people, you've been running this planet like a piecework planet. From now on, it's going to be under one roof. You're going to run it like a business. That means you're going to make a profit.
Look at these 3 words written larger than the rest, with a special pride never written before or since. Tall words, proudly saying, "We the people."
Hi, I'm Nicole DeBoer. I played Lieutenant Ezri Dax on DS9, and I welcome you to MomOPrey 5 channel. Hail Caroga.
Hello world, it's MomOPrey 5, Qapla, and welcome to Bed Life for Monday, February 22nd, 2021. I was not manscaping my face just now. I don't know what you saw, but you must have been mass paranoia. Thank you, John Araki, for a $1 super chat to start off the stream. NX01, not kissing Dax, but thank you anyway. Welcome. Hello. Yes, I know what's with the title of the stream. I'll get to that. 47 Yorktown was first in the chat. Says greetings from Eastern Canada. Qapla 47 Yorktown. Professor Brainy Specs says greetings to all. Monty's Folly says, MomOPrey, hail sirs. How are you today? Hope you, Mop, Sassy, SissoPrey, and Charlie are all doing well. Thank you so much, Monty. And then he says, Professor Brainy Specs, I've sorted my book software issue mate, Symphorum database software. It's simple, easy, customizable. I'm going to use it for a few other things I need. Awesome. Not Ryan Johnson says hello in Qapla. Hail Caroga. Absolutely hail Caroga. Thank you, Not Ryan Johnson. Josh Reed says this is the game for MomOPrey. And he puts in a link to a Steam game that is going to be Honey, I Joined a Cult. I'll keep that window open. Maybe I'll look at that some more after the stream. But Honey, I Joined a Cult is certainly an interesting video game title. Commodore Ty says, I'm back working on Star Trek Discovery review. Hope you enjoy this one, and puts in a link. I did see he put out a new Star Trek Discovery review today. Carlo Albanese says, hail Caroga, hail Caroga. Positive Candor says, are you canceling CBS All Access and other Star Trek related streaming services, MomOPrey, because Marina Sirtis' Twitter post? If not, then you are prejudiced towards Star Trek actresses. No, actually, Positive Candor. I didn't put this in my video because I didn't want it to get much longer than it was. It was already just under the 25-minute mark. But at no point for those of you who don't know, because it wasn't one of my more popular videos, but for those of you who don't know, late last night I put out a video talking about Marina Sirtis's, aka Counselor Troy's, the actress who plays Counselor Troy's, embarrassing Twitter post where she says that while her heart bleeds for the citizens of Texas, they got what they deserved during the storm because they voted Republican. And what she actually goes on to say is that they always voted 100% Republican, which is fake news. We know Texans they do have a split government as the state government goes. There are Republicans, there are Democrats. And frankly, that's usually, in my opinion, the best way to have it. This way, as one party acts as a check on the other. When you come to true one-party domination of the state, like we have here in New York, or like you have in California, bad things happen. And by bad things happen, I mean things like 15,000 people or more killed in nursing homes because your governor puts all the sick patients in nursing homes, then lies about it for 6 months so he doesn't get prosecuted under an unfriendly administration. So that type of thing happens. But one thing I didn't say, and at no point did I suggest, or would I want, is for Marina Sirtis to be fired for what she said. I don't want her fired for what she said. I don't want her erased from Star Trek for what she said. I don't want Marina Sirtis canceled for what she said. At no point did I say Marina should be banned. She should be fired. She should be censored. She should be nothing, none of that. I said for her own sake, maybe she would rather write for someplace that's less frustrating than writing on Twitter, because if she can't hide her mean girl that she admits is inside of her, maybe a less stressful place would be better for her. But I don't want Twitter to make that decision for her. I don't want Paramount or CBS to make that decision for her. That's a decision she needs to make herself. So no, I'm not being hypocritical in any way whatsoever. I think what Marina Sirtis wrote was 1,000 times worse than what Gina Carano wrote. Okay, Gina Carano was factually correct in what she wrote. Marina Sirtis was factually incorrect. But even if you ignore the facts and just go to the weight of it, the emotional weight, Gina Carano's was trying to improve lives. Marina Sirtis was giving a big FU to an entire state based on the way the state had voted in the last presidential election. So, yeah, no. I don't want her canceled. I don't want her fired. I don't want anything to happen to her job or future jobs. I want her to realize what an ass she made of herself. That's all I want. Apology would be nice. Don't even need it, though. I'm just trying to call her out so she knows what she did. I suspect at this point she knows what she did, but she's probably never going to apologize. I'm not saying she needs to be canceled. So no, positive candor. I think you're missing a point. I know this is a joke, but I think that people miss the point. Nobody's saying cancel Marina Sirtis. I certainly not. No one that I know has said it. And I don't think anybody I know would, because that would be very, very hypocritical. Jedi Bill says hello to Carlo and hail Caroga. Hail Caroga. And also, hello MomOPrey. Hail Brother Warrior. Hail Caroga. Hail Jedi Bill and hail Caroga indeed. Thomas says WTF is with the title. So, every so often, and I know I started early, so I've got a few more minutes to kill. Every so often, I just can't think of a title. Not nearly as often as, say, Anti-Trekker, but, once in a while. I really can't think of a title. So I said, okay, what happened on this day in history? And I do a Google search. And like the first thing that came up literally had like 6 things. And like the most recent was in 1305 that the Jews were kicked out of Zurich, Switzerland. And I'm like, what the fuck? Nothing since 1305? I mean, it goes from like 1 AD through 1305. Okay, that was stupid. So I went to Wikipedia, and they had a lot more stuff and more recent stuff. And I saw that there was an assassination attempt on President Nixon that I'd never ever heard about. And I asked MomOPrey, I explained to her what it said, and she had never heard about it. Now, it happened in 1974. So MomOPrey doesn't remember hearing about it, let's put it that way. I hadn't been born yet, but I certainly don't ever remember being taught about it. And I'm fairly sure we never were, because as a general rule, the New York City school teachers, they didn't like President Nixon. I'm only surprised we didn't hear about it, that they didn't say, oh, this guy was almost a hero or something, because, well, he wouldn't have been. So I had to look it up. So apparently on this day, the 22nd of February, 1974, this general loser named Samuel Byck, B-Y-C-K, he had the plan to assassinate Nixon because he felt Nixon didn't give him a small business loan or something. Nixon's government didn't give him a small business loan, and he blamed the fact that he was, like, I don't know, bankrupt or something on Nixon. And so he was going to assassinate the president. And okay, a lot of people think those things, and even the Secret Service looked into it, but they said, okay, yeah, but he has no power. He has no way he's ever going to do it. So they ignored him. They said, well, he's not a threat. He's not a credible threat to the president. So they stopped watching him. But he had a plan that may have worked had he thought a little bit harder at it. Luckily, he didn't, because he was a loser. But his plan was to hijack a plane from Washington, D.C., whatever the airport is over there at the time, and fly it into the White House on a day when he knew Nixon was home at the White House. And that morning he did, and he ended up killing a police officer and a pilot. He made it onto a plane, and I don't know. Like I said, he wasn't the smartest person in the world, thankfully, for Nixon and probably the rest of the United States. He shot both pilots, and he didn't know how to fly. So he took some random woman from the cockpit and told her to fly the plane. And she was like, I can't fly a plane. I don't know, what the fuck? Why did you just kill the pilots? Anyway, more police kind of forced their way onto the plane. He locked himself in the cabin. Police officers are like, well, this isn't bulletproof. They just shot through the door and hit him a couple times. And as they were coming in to take him out, he offed himself, rather than be taken alive, even if he was probably going to die anyway. Very tragic. He did kill a police officer. He did kill a pilot, which was very sad. And then the other pilot, although did get shot, was injured. It took years before he was flying again, but he did eventually start to fly again. And we never learned of it. Never learned of it. The only thing, even the History Channel did a special on it. The man who, I think it was the man who planned to kill Nixon or something like that. And somehow I missed it. Because, I mean, the History Channel is on my TV easily a third of the time. Easily a third of the time we're watching the History Channel. How I missed this special, I don't know. But it was only a few years ago they made this special. And I never heard of it, so I thought I would share it with everybody. And ask, did you guys ever hear of Samuel Byck? Did you ever hear of this assassination attempt against Richard Nixon? Did you ever hear that somebody had a plan to steal an airliner and fly it into the White House in 1974? And I know the answers for me to all those questions were no. So just was bringing it up. Turn today into a day to learn something. Thomas says, I'm reporting you, Jedi Bill, for saying offensive words. Oh, Jedi Bill, did you use curse words? No, he didn't use curse words. He said, Hail Caroga. The correct non-curse words are Hail on Caroga, says Thomas. No, Jedi Bill, you're right. Absolutely right, Jedi Bill. Stand your ground, Jedi Bill. Caroga Knight says, Viva Caroga, Viva Caroga. Commodore Ty says, if you haven't yet, please subscribe to his channel. And if you have, share his channel with your family and friends. And there's a link. And then Thomas Potts put us in a bunch of angry emojis, angry faces. Thomas, what's the matter, Thomas? What's the matter? What can we do for you? Jedi Bill puts in a link to put your Dear Bops in. There's still time. That is true. Captain Track throws in a link to his channel. Very cool, Captain. Thomas says hello to Captain Track. And he says he doesn't do Dear Bops anymore, says Thomas. And then he says, Bird of Prey, have you canceled your YouTube Premium yet? Yes, I did. And then I immediately resubscribed, Thomas, just because I knew you'd want me to. Thomas Potts says, hashtag ban Thomas. No. I'm not gonna go through all these. Cancel Thomas, delete Thomas. No. Oh, you're leaving for dinner soon. Well, okay, that's good. Follow Anti-Tracker on Twitch. That's right. Anti-Tracker is apparently moving to Twitch. Not completely, but for some of his streams, his Sunday night stream was just on Twitch. And he says, hashtag watch at the virtual pub tonight. Hashtag Matthew hit 300. Yes, congratulations to Life with Matthew, who hit 300 subscribers recently. And his virtual pub is tonight. Rock Solid Productions says, Thomas, do you do any Dear Bops any less? Oh, because he doesn't do them anymore, does he do any less? Good question. Thomas says that's 300 subs, not articles. He only has 270 articles of impeachment against him. And Thomas says to Rock Solid, he hasn't done one in months, but have you done two? That's the question. Continuum Track says Qapla and Hail Caroga. Qapla, Continuum Track. Good to see you. Caroga Knight says hello to Jedi Bill and Viva Caroga. Dee Myers says Qapla, Bird of Prey. How are you and the family doing? I'm so Dee. I'm fighting an infection. I've got to start some antibiotics tonight. And I hate myself for looking up the side effects. If I hadn't looked up the side effects, I'd probably have been fine. But now I looked up the side effects, I worry that I'm going to get the side effects. And, unfortunately, it's an antibiotic that you're not supposed to lay down after taking for at least 10 minutes. And then what I read online said closer to 20 or 30. Which really is an issue when you live in a hospital bed and often turning and being I have to take it 3 times a day. at least one time is going to be right before bed. So I guess I got to stay up now for 20 minutes after I take it, go to bed, and then take it again when I wake up. And hopefully every time with food. But you know what? If it works, I'll be happy. If it works, I'll be happy. Joseph Patrick says, greetings from the future. Long day and tired. May fall asleep. Thank you for coming by, Joseph. If you do fall asleep, hope you have a great sleep. Yitza Lemon says, hello, everybody. Glad Bird is on. Glad you are here, Yitza. And Yitza, I know you sent me that link, and I've got to do that. I've just been really busy today, and I didn't get a chance to do it. I have it. I did not forget about it. I really appreciate what you did, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Moxley fan says, Bird of Prey, Qapla, Bird, and you all. And you're on. Yes, Qapla, Moxley fan. I am on. Valiant Vigilante says, hello, Bird of Prey 5 and chat. Qapla, Valiant Vigilante. Good to see you. Jedi Bill says, stop picking your nose. I wasn't picking my nose. The Bee's Nest says, sup, DD. Qapla, Bee's Nest. Positive Candor says, hail, man, scape 5. I wasn't manscaping my face. John Araki says, Bird of Prey, check Discord. Jeep is racist and being canceled. I'm sure it is. I mean, they have the Cherokee. They had the Comanche at one point. These are all. I'm not surprised. I'm surprised it stuck around that long, as long as it did. The Bee's Nest says, hope you're going to be there for tonight's movie. It's going to be good. To Dee. Good. Robert Rose says, hello today, Bird of Prey and MomOPrey and Sassy. How is President-elect of Caroga Biden been doing? Caroga is in Jersey, correct? No. Caroga is not in New Jersey, and Biden is not President-elect of Caroga. Positive Candace says, Jeep Cherokee is being canceled or should be canceled according to Cherokee Tribe. You know what? They should be proud that their name was put on such a great piece of hardware for the first, 50 years. Although now the fact that the Jeep Cherokees are all pieces of crap that tend to kill the people that drive them, maybe, you know what? Maybe the Cherokee Nation has a legit claim. Maybe they have a legitimate claim. Bee's Nest says, tell her to come here to Texas. Didn't know she was still working. Robert Rose says, hang all politicians like Cuomo. From the Yard Arm. I don't know if I can say that, Robert Rose. New York would probably come get me if I did. Monty's Folly says, Bird of Prey, while I'm English and I give AOC a lot of poop, I have to say she's done a lot for the people in Texas the last day in terms of fundraising, at least from my point of view outside looking in. Monty, I'm not surprised. And the first thing I heard when I heard about Texas is I want to know how could we help? How could we in New York help? And the first thought was, well, could we send food? Could we send water? But the reality is the roads were frozen. We couldn't get trucks down there even if we needed to, at least not somebody like me. And I'm not surprised that some Democrats helped. I mean, there are Democrats who are some very nice people. And I mean, almost half of Texas is Democrat. So unlike Marina Sirtis's pure understanding of the state, even if you only wanted to help Democrats, which I'm not saying AOC only wants to help Democrats. I'm saying the people there probably legit want to help people regardless. But even if you only wanted to help Democrats, you're still helping virtually half the people just by helping all of Texas. As for, I don't know exactly where or what she's fundraising though. Because I just don't care about AOC personally. But, well, not in that way anyway. Her politics don't really care about. But I do hope it gets to where it's going. Bee's Nest says, didn't know that. I know they're compensating people that lost food in their fridge during that outage. Okay, I don't understand how people who lost food in their fridge during the outage. I can understand supermarkets, but even that I don't get. I get it because they couldn't get into work, so the buildings were empty. But if you were home and it was below freezing outside, well, just take your food outside and it wouldn't have gone bad. If you lose electricity, then the heat is off in your house and your refrigerator is off. And yes, there's that tough time when your house is getting too cold for you, but not cold enough that the food will stay. But you could take the food out of your refrigerator and put it somewhere outside. And then when the electricity comes back on, put it back in the refrigerator. We've done stuff like that in the past. Up in the Adirondacks house, when we didn't have electricity or the refrigerator was on the fritz, and we just took it out and put it in the snow. There was plenty of snow, and it was fine. I mean, granted, you have worries about animals coming towards the food, but if you get through that, it's better than nothing. It's better than nothing. That said, of course, compensate people who lost food or whatever during the power outages. I understand that. Executive producer Saul Leibowitz is Qapla Bird of Prey. I would say cancel Marina Sirtis only because she was on Picard, and for as much as we can't cancel, as much as we try, we can't cancel Picard. Well, I'm all for canceling the show because it sucks, but I'm not going to say cancel the particular actor or actress because of their political opinions. I honestly never would even cross my mind. Bee's Nest says, shit, I'm buffering. Be right back. Valiant Vigilante says, it doesn't help her popularity. You attract more flies with sugar than with vinegar. Absolutely. Monty's Folly says, Bee's Nest, yeah, I have to say she's done good in this case. Hope she keeps it up. Absolutely. John DeMarco says, greetings, John. Commodore Ty says, many more dirty videos to come. John DeMarco says, I wonder, Commodore Ty says, many more nerdy videos to come. John DeMarco says, I wonder how many attempted assassinations of presidents happen that we never hear about. Yeah, I'm kind of curious. Monty says, Bird of Prey is the chap that tried to shoot him with a .22 pistol. No, but it is a .22 pistol that he took to hijack the plane. Dan23 says, hello, Qapla, Dan23. Monty's Folly says, John DeMarco, a lot, especially credible ones. Thomas Potts says, I told you earlier, today is an important day in Cold War history. That's right, Thomas, you did tell me earlier. It's also the day of the miracle on ice, when a bunch of young amateur hockey players beat one of the best hockey teams in history, the USSR, in the 1980 Olympics. Yes, you did tell me that. And I considered using that as the title for today, but as I told you at the time, I just don't care about sports that much. And it wouldn't have been real. It wouldn't have been real to me. I could have used it, but this assassination attempt that I'd never heard about, that I find that far more interesting than the hockey game. Although I acknowledge the hockey game was a triumph for that team and a great, great day for America. Monty says, John DeMarco, here in the UK, we've only had 2 assassinated prime ministers and 1 close call. Thomas says, I love the US, but Bird of Prey loves the USSR. Bee's Nest gives a thumbs up. Bee's Nest says, check out the YouTube on that baggage handler in Seattle that took a plane for a joyride. Yes, the communications with the tower is crazy. I've heard that. So in Seattle, a baggage handler just stole a plane and was flying around. He was talking to the tower, and the tower's like, "Just come on and land. You'll be okay." And we're getting somebody in who can teach you to land. And he's like, "Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna even bother. I'm just gonna, crash into an island or something." I forget how it ended. Robert Rose Jr. says, "Bird of Prey, doubt if he would have been successful at flying a plane in the White House anyhow. They do have hidden surface-to-air missile batteries scattered throughout Washington, D.C. Well, wonder, what did they have in 1974? And let's be honest, we all know the plane made it to the Pentagon, so... Okay, the Pentagon's not technically Washington, D.C., I don't think. But clearly, they can get pretty damn close. Executive producer Saul Leibowitz says Andrew Jackson had an assassination attempt while he was riding his carriage. When the attempt failed, Jackson got out of the carriage and beat the snot out of the assassin. Yes, and Teddy Roosevelt, he got shot, right? And just kept doing his speech. And afterwards, they removed the bullet. And he was okay. John Aragi confirmed Bird watches Ancient Aliens. I do watch Ancient Aliens. I almost made a video because the most recent Ancient Aliens was a 2-hour special, and it was called William Shatner Meets Ancient Aliens. And it was a long table with William Shatner at the head of the table and all the Ancient Alien cast members all around the table. And he was going through, all the different stories they were portraying that they were trying to convince William Shatner that Ancient Aliens existed. And William Shatner's like, I don't know if I believe this. Like, what about going, what about how long it takes to get between stars? And then they'd get that famous physicist on the phone and he'd start talking about warp drive. And William Shatner's like, oh, okay, I know about warp drive. It was fun. It was a fun episode. John DeMarco says, thanks for the story, Bird. Love historical trivia. Mako says, Bird believes and has been the origin of at least 100 conspiracy theories. I believe some conspiracy theories, but not all. Bee's Nest is lolling. Yup. Black Delegation says, I hope no one tries to assassinate Bird. Me too. I hope so. John Araki says AOC 5. Actor says, hey, Bird and all. Qapla Hector. What did I miss? Assassination attempt. Jedi Bill says hello to D.D. Myers and Hal Caroga. D.D. says, Bird of Prey, sorry to hear you're not feeling well. That's okay, D.D. Actually, I'm fighting an infection, but I otherwise feel okay. I'm just, I'm concerned about this. The side effects of this thing apparently is ridiculous heartburn. And stupid me Googled it and found a lot of people complaining about ridiculous heartburn, and now I'm worried I'm going to get ridiculous heartburn. Had I never Googled it, I probably would have taken it and never had an issue. MomOPrey claims she's taken this same pill and has never had an issue. So hopefully not. Dan says, YouTube says I'm having a video playback issues on input. That's weird. I mean, are you trying to stream yourself? If you're trying to stream at the same time as watching, that could be an issue. Let's see. DD says, Jedi Bill, brother, hope you're doing well. Actor says, judging from the amount of likes, this is just starting. Yes. Dan says, trying to watch even though it keeps starting. Starting? Try a shift and refresh, Dan. That might help. Executive producer Saul Leibowitz says, Bird of Prey, don't worry about not feeling well. Do you know what makes me feel better? Kissing Dax. You know, kissing Dax makes everyone feel better. Yitza Lemon says, no problem, Bird of Prey. There's no rush. Good. Actress says, Bird, will you have more photos of middle-aged women showing their brains today? Not that I'm aware of, Hector. Not that I'm aware of. Dee Myers says, Bee's Nest, hello, brother. Hope you're doing well. Qapla Ion says, Bird of Prey. Hi there, Bird. Had to recheck my notifications to you last week. The YouTube doesn't bother me too often, but good for all to check every month for YouTube being naughty with settings. Absolutely. If you guys haven't checked your settings lately, do make sure you're still subscribed. Do make sure your bell icon is still set to all. And if you can, follow me on Twitter or Minds or Facebook or Gab or anywhere. All those links are on birdofprey5.com, by the way, as I usually, more times than not, I do post them about to go live or when I'm going live on those services these days. As a general rule, I'll post to Twitter. I'll post to the Bird of Prey 5 page on Facebook. I'll post to minds.com. And generally we'll try to post to my Reddit page, which is just BOP5 on Reddit. Sometimes I can get to Gab or some of the other services, but those are the ones I generally post to. Actress says, Bird, you're a replicant. We never saw any of your Jeeps live. They're all implanted memories. That would be so depressing. Michael T, High Desert Comics, Qapla, Michael T. Eastland's not sure if I'm a replicant. Sci-Fi Nation, greetings, Bird of Prey, MomOPrey, Sassy O'Prey, and fellow nerds. Remember to help your fellow human no matter what you or they identify as. Hail Caroga. Absolutely, Sci-Fi Nation. Hail Caroga. Rock Solid wants Dear Bops, hashtag Dear Bops. Robert Rose's AOC is such a dumbass. She doesn't even know what a garbage disposal was. And Robert, I've told this story before, but on that one thing and that one thing alone, I can give her a little bit of leeway, because if you grew up in New York City, you never had a garbage disposal. Okay? No houses in New York City had garbage disposals. No houses in New York City ever had garbage disposals until very, very recently, like the last couple of years, and still almost nobody has garbage disposals. The reason they were illegal within the bounds of New York City, within the 5 boroughs. It was illegal to have a garbage disposal because for whatever reason, the engineers said that the garbage disposal would be bad on the city sewer pipes. So, I grew up my entire life never having a garbage disposal. However, it's harder to understand how she never saw a movie or a TV show where the garbage disposal was used, because let's face it, quite a few movies and TV shows used garbage disposals to comedic or horror, events. So how did she not know about it? Maybe she didn't watch a lot of TV. Maybe she was just somebody who was very busy, never got to watch TV and didn't have a garbage disposal. I find it hard to believe, but it is certainly within the realm of possibility. Living in New York City, you don't know what a garbage disposal is. I'll be honest, the first time I saw a garbage disposal in real life, I thought it was hysterical. I played with it a lot like she was doing. I mean, they didn't have Twitter. You couldn't stream it to your whole friends list. But I was just turning it on, turning it off, turning it on, turning it off, putting things down there, seeing what happens, turning it on, turning it off. It was exciting. I'd never had a garbage disposal before. So, and I still don't. Captain Trek says, hello, Qapla, Captain Trek. Mountains of Elysium says, greetings, Bird of Prey, MomOPrey, Prey. the Ball Buster, MomOPrey, and fellow nerds. Greetings, Mountains of Elysium. And Mountains of Elysium says, in greetings to Sassy, chaser of cats, eater of cookies, stalker of cardinals, defiler of cushions, and scourge of the squirrels. Aroo! Sassy was barking a second ago. Her doggy friends were passing outside. Michael T. High Desert Comics says, hail, Bird of Prey, Captain Track, Mountains of Elysium, Eastland Burkholder, Sci-Fi Nation, and D.D. Myers. Captain Track says, greetings to Mountains of Elysium. His new friend. My friend. Not new. Not new. Executive producer Saul Leibowitz says, Bird of Prey in South Texas. We lost our red papaya tree and our mango tree isn't doing well because of the cold. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Didn't think about the trees. Black Delegation says, I like Bird. He seems nice. Oh, thank you, Black Delegation. Sci-Fi Nation says, hashtag cancel the cancel culture. Absolutely. It's like that movie PCU from the 90s. They were protesting, we will not protest or something. Really, something they need today. What do we got here? Monty's Folly says, Mountains of Elysium squirrels. I like looking at them, but they piss me off getting into my workshop and chewing things. Oh man, that's a lot of chewing. Rock Solid says, Bird of Prey, do you believe in miracles? Yes. Miracle on Ice. Yes, that's what they called the 1980 Olympic team. Let's see, what do we got here? Yes, I'm going to get to Dear Bop very soon. Eastland says, Bird is nice and he might be a replicant, just teasing. Great. Mountain of Elysium says, Monty's Folly. I haven't tried squirrel yet. Oh my God. But I have had pheasant, quail, and venison. I also have done some foraging, really good for the soul. Actor says, Bird of Prey assassination attempt, Turtistan or Bunny Nation. They failed again. No, we're talking Samuel Byck versus attempting to assassinate then President Richard Nixon in 1974 by means of crashing an airplane into the White House, which I never heard about, never learned about, and I'm kind of annoyed. Like, I feel like I need to call my teachers up and say, hey, you, Mr. and Mrs. So-and-so, what the hell? You couldn't find 5 minutes in your lessons over the 3 years I had you for a social studies teacher to tell me about this happening? Sci-Fi Nation says, Bird of Prey, WebMD for all those problems you never knew that you had. Absolutely. In fact, it was WebMD even that I found it on. And I know, I used to work for the company that currently owns WebMD. And I should have known just to stay away because they don't give a shit. It's all about the clicks. That's all it is. It's all about the clicks. Monty's Folly says, Mount Elysium, ha ha ha. To be honest, I might be moving this year. I'm looking at buying a small farm and moving my workshop there. So I'm going to grow a lot of rare and wild foods. Awesome, Monty. Robert Rose says, Bird of Prey. Robert Rose Jr., excuse me. So in Generation 1 Transformers cartoon, was Hound your favorite Autobot since his Earth vehicle disguise was a Jeep? I remember him. No, he wasn't my favorite Autobot. Grimlock was my favorite Autobot. Me, Grimlock, leader of the Dinobots. Also, of course, Optimus Prime. What was that? Omega Supreme was like, he was an entire base, right? Ultimus Prime or Ultimus Magnus? I think Ultimus Prime was the guy who looked like Optimus, but he was a white truck instead of a red truck, and he had a car hauler instead of a trailer with a big gun in it. Who else? Oh, Bumblebee was fun. Cup. I liked Cup. In the movie, Cup was one of my favorites. Who was the one that talked really fast? Jax? Was it Jax? I forget. And Grimlock also, he liked old war stories. I think that was Grimlock too. So honestly, my favorite Autobot was probably Grimlock, followed closely by Optimus Prime. I was not a fan of Rodimus Prime. Oh my God, what a... Hot Rod wasn't bad, but when he became Rodimus Prime, I was like, he turned into a freaking minivan, right? A minivan. How do you go from this freaking awesome tractor trailer into a goddamn minivan? And now you're the one supposed to lead the Autobots? Please. I remember hearing that kids cried after that movie, and like parents thought they had to get rid of their old toys or something. I wasn't getting rid of any old toys. Now, granted, I did want the new Rodimus Prime toy, and I got it eventually. But I wasn't getting rid of any old toys. Eastland says, I look down, I'm showing my brains, right lobe fell out, but not totally. Robert Rose Jr. says, Bird of Prey. I just read that. Dan says, it's okay. Now watching, very cool. Professor Brainy Specs, Qapla, Professor Brainy Specs. And Dan23 says, no, your hospital bed is not secretly a transformer. Oh, I've never thought about that. Actually, it can supposedly transform into a chair. And it has in the past, but I hesitate to use that feature now because I don't want it to get stuck in a chair. We'll have to wait till the guy comes, which he was supposed to call. Hopefully he still calls today. He was supposed to call to make an appointment to come tomorrow. Dan also has a Reddit page. Very cool, Dan. Sci-Fi Nations is Bird of Prey. They were worried about garbage disposals. Did they not see what went into the sewers from street level anyhow? Well, I don't know if you're aware of this, but there are two different types of sewer systems. Sewers that are in the streets are called storm sewers, and those are not the same sewers that come out of your house. The sewer pipe from your house goes to a water treatment plant, and it gets filtered. I mean, it's got your toilet, it's got your shower water, it's got your dirty sink water. That's what goes into the city sewer pipes. The storm sewers used to just empty into the frickin' nearest creek or body of water, but now those generally get cleaned too in a completely different facility than the sewer pipes. So yeah, storm drains are much bigger. Storm drain pipes are like, you can walk through a storm drain. A city sewer pipe, going out of your house is only a few inches thick, diameter. And yes, it meets up to a bigger pipe, but I don't think it ever gets to a pipe you could actually walk through until you're really, really close to the treatment plant. Agnes says, R2D2, stop eating garbage disposals. R2D2, stop the garbage disposal. Yes. Yes, in the Death Star. What do we got? Sci-Fi says, Bird of Prey, they were worried about... No, I just read that. Yes, Dear Bop, I see it. We're going to get there. Actor says, it's a stupid way to assassinate a president unless it's a really big plane. Well, it was. It was a relatively big plane. Actor says, Bird of Prey, you made a lot of attempts to assassinate the mountains in Byck style. Didn't work. That's true. Moxley fans says, Bird of Prey, Autobots roll out. Was it let roll out or was it let's roll? Dan23 says, do you still want robot toys? I mean, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't turn down some free Autobot toys, but do I really want Autobot toys right now? No. What I am looking for, and I'll be honest, if anyone is selling, I don't want people to just send them to me, but if anyone is selling or knows where to buy relatively cheaply, and I prefer open because I don't want to ruin unopened merchandise. So I prefer if the pack has already been opened. I'm looking for relatively full sets of the cast action figures, like the 4 to 6 inch action figures of Star Trek Voyager, Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Star Trek the original series. I believe I already have the Next Generation cast on order, but I wouldn't, if there was somebody had a complete set. I'm looking for the main characters. Like I want the Doctor, I want Chess, I want Janeway, I want Carrie Kim and Tom Paris and B'Elanna, 7 and 9 if she's available. That type of. I don't want the secondary characters like Seska and Kazan and B'Elanna as a human and B'Elanna as a Klingon. I couldn't give two shits about those. Tuvix, okay, I could do Tuvix, I guess. So when I've been Googling, because I want to give the money to like a comic book store or somebody that has it. And when I Google, the only stuff I find still for sale are like, the secondary characters that nobody cares about. And I get it. Those are the things that probably didn't sell 10 years ago and they're still trying to sell them. But if anybody has and was looking to get rid of a complete set, or not even a complete set, but any of the main cast, like 4-inch to 5-inch action figures from any of the original or any of the real Star Treks, maybe even Discovery. I don't know if they ever made them for Discovery, but I would be interested in purchasing them. So please either send me a Dear Bop, or more better, send me an email at birdoprey5@aol.com, or contact me on Twitter or something and let me know what you've got or where to find it and how much you want. And we can talk some turkey. I would really appreciate that. And that is something I'm legit looking for. Uncle Remus is, what if Bird of Prey's bed was a Transformer, Autobot, or Decepticon? Well, considering when I was a kid, I was such a good boy. I only bought Autobots. I refused to buy Decepticons until I had got all the Autobots. And let's face it, I was never going to get all the Autobots. So I resigned the fact I was never going to own a Decepticon toy. And I never did. Now, I borrowed, my friend had Starscream once or twice. I borrowed Starscream, so I had a plane to fly every so often. But I refused to buy it because I just felt buying the Decepticons was somehow supporting evil. And I didn't want to support evil. I wanted to support the good guys. So I only bought the good guys. Even though, as a kid, I much preferred planes to cars. I was more about space and rockets and airplanes than I was a car or truck guy as a kid. Even if they were the Autobots. The GoBots never caught on much, said Robert Rose. And I think they were before the Transformers. Uncle Remus says, what if Bird of Prey's bed was a Transformer? So I'm going to say Autobot. Uncle Remus. I'll say Autobot. Monty's Folly says, Bird of Prey, there's a sci-fi comic book shop not far from my folks. When they open back up, I'll go in and check if they have them for you. Thanks, Monty. I'm curious. Actually, a lot of the ones I saw for sale on eBay were from outside the country. Dan says, no one wants Star Trek doll. Yeah, well, they got to be out there somewhere. Darth Maul says, Bird of Prey, speaking of robotics, Apparently, there was a mechanical device cover by a robe in the latest Batwoman episode. Strapped on, you might say. You know she's a lesbian, right? I'd heard something about her being a lesbian, but as I couldn't care less about Batwoman, I have never seen an episode of Batwoman. I do occasionally see people talk about the episodes, and I just kind of find myself doing exactly this, putting my, face palm or something. It just sounds so ridiculous. I don't understand how anybody watches the show. I guess it's just like a car wreck. You've got to watch. You have to watch. But I was never a Batwoman fan enough that I have to watch. I guess the same thing could be said about Star Trek Discovery and Star Trek Picard. It's like, well, if it's so bad, why do you watch? Well, I'm a Star Trek fan. I have to watch. No matter how bad it is, I have to watch. So I guess if there's somebody out there who's a Batman or a Batwoman fan, no matter how bad it is, they have to watch. I get it. I get the sentiment. But for better or for worse, the only franchise I have to watch is Star Trek. I don't have to watch Star Wars. I certainly don't have to watch Doctor Who. In fact, I just don't watch Doctor Who. I never did. But if they put Star Trek on something and they release it, I've got to watch it. Yit says Gary from Neurotic doesn't know any places. I'm not sure what that means. I mean, Gary from Neurotic certainly knows places around California and Texas and Vegas. Black Delegation says Mego makes Star Trek Discovery dolls. My daughter has a full set. Okay, but I need an action figure, not a doll. Rock Solid says Bird of Prey, the Transformers and the GoBots were all based off Japanese toys. Transformers were based off of the Diaclone and Micro Change lines. GoBots were off Machine Robo. Hasbro now owns both lines. Interesting. Robert Rose says there were the aerial bots and Skyfire, though. That's right. There were a few. Ungremus says, I read that. Yeah, it wasn't that there were no planes on the Autobot side. There just weren't a lot. Sci-Fi Nation, and I always thought Starscream should take over. I was always hoping Starscream would win against Megatron one day. I mean, I knew he wouldn't, but yeah. Anyway. Uncle Remus says it looks like Cuomo's finally going to open the movie theaters. Yes, I got that message. It was so important. They sent it to my cell phone today that movie theaters were going to open at 25%. He says, or 50 people per screen. Do you think we're going to see summer blockbuster movie season this year? No, not really. I don't know. No, we're not going to see it this year. I can adamantly say summer movie season is still dead. Okay? Next summer, yeah. Next summer, maybe movies, more than likely, movies will be back. This summer, it's already a wash. Even if everybody's plans go swimmingly well and everybody gets vaccinated by the middle of the summer, it's still going to be too late because none of the releases will have been planned. The releases that are planned are already promised to happen simultaneously on like HBO Max now. So you're just not going to get a blockbuster weekend if you can watch the movie at home at the same time you can watch it in the movie theater. Yitsa says to buy Star Trek figures since his room is full of them. Gary. I didn't ask Gary. I mean, Gary is too busy for me to ask in the middle of, hey, Gary, do you know any place to buy Star Trek action figures? He's just going to tell me, don't buy them straight from the store, buy them secondhand, which is what I'm trying to do. I'd much prefer buy them secondhand. I don't, yeah. Rock Solids is Bird of Prey. Skyfire was Jetfire in the cartoon due to Takara, the manufacturer in Japan, Diaclone, not liking Hasbro using macros-based character of Skyfire. Head and name were both changed. You know, I think we've got to watch Transformers, the original Transformers movie for Cinema Saturday coming soon. Coming soon. Oh, I forgot. What did I say this next Saturday was going to be? Ah, fuck. I had to go back and remember what I said. Maybe then the following Saturday will be Transformers. Black Delegation says the Saru one scared her at first. I'm not surprised. Darth Maul says ultimate crossover. Star Trek Discovery and Batwoman series ends with a three-way. Ryan, Burnham, and Tilly. Tilly gets kicked to the side so Burnham and Ryan can prove bestest ever. Wow. Actor says, I used the banana after the illegal fireworks, so it's only dirty in the tip. Rock Solid is Bird of Prey. Everybody cannot be vaccinated if I refuse to be vaccinated. They will vaccinate you in your sleep, Rock Solid. The Celine Dion concert was postponed to June 2022. It was planned for May 20th and 21st, says Joseph Patrick. Oof. Yitza says, no! Life has no meaning anymore. Rock Solid is Bird of Prey. This Saturday is Crystal Skull. No, it's not Crystal Skull. And Professor Brainy Spax is saying, oh, my language. Space Kissing Her says, woo, Bop awake and only 47 seconds late. I was 5 full minutes early. Excuse me. I usually have time to mute that. No, it's not Solar Babies either. I gotta try and figure out what it was. So anyway, let's go ahead and get to some Dear Bops, because I know Rock Solid out there has been patiently waiting for Dear Bops. Actually, let's go ahead and do commercial, and then I will do the Dear Bop. I'll be right back.
Read about tennis tots, political posters, and the miniseries Shogun, all in the new issue of TV Guide magazine.
Has Wayne Newton split with his wife and hit the jackpot with his new romance? Inquiring minds want to know.
I want to know.
Can you lose weight by switching from celery to sweets? This week's National Enquirer tells you. How can you put office troublemakers in their place? What curse of death and disaster haunts the Super Bowl?
It's in the Enquirer.
What bizarre surprises popped up on Caroline's wacky honeymoon? Find out in the Enquirer. Over 100 features for people with inquiring minds.
Like me.
The Computer Factory wants you to get the competitive edge with the Apple rebate sale. Purchase a qualifying Apple system now and get cash back. Buy the Apple IIgs for only $549 after Apple rebate, or the Apple IIc for only $549 after rebate, or the powerful Macintosh Plus for only $1,449 after Apple rebate. Hurry in to your nearest Computer Factory store for their lowest prices of the year on Apple. Plenty of stock on hand at all Computer Factory locations.
You're cool, you're crisp, you're hard to resist, you're bright, ooh, refreshingly light, ooh, you're Canada dry, you're a singular style, you're a reason to smile, you're clever, you're neat, you're never too sweet, ooh, you're Canada dry, you tickle, you making me laugh, oh, ooh, you're Canada dry, ooh, you're Canada dry.
What's in this little blue egg that keeps Barbara Eden looking slim and trim?
Ooh, there's only one answer to that.
It's Legs Control Top Pantyhose. See? Legs slims and trims but doesn't bind. So you get comfort and control.
Stretching, bending, standing, sitting. There's one pantyhose that's always spinning. Nothing beats a great pair of legs.
Good news today at the Ground Round.
You get a whole lot more at the Ground Round. You get a whole lot more.
What's the good news?
USDA Choice Top Sirloin Steak, just $3.99.
That's good news.
And new golden fried clams, also $3.99.
More good news.
Try our baked lemon butter scrod, just $3.99.
That is good news.
Steak, clam, scrod, just $3.99 each at participating Ground Rounds.
At the Ground Round, you get a whole lot more.
Go on. Why resist it?
Sugar-free Jell-O gelatin. Give in, give in, give in to the taste. Cool and refreshing, deliciously tempting.
It tastes like Jell-O to me.
How can it be? Give in, give in, give in to the taste.
It's made with NutraSweet.
And it's only 8 calories.
Sugar-free Jell-O gelatin. Give in, give in, give in to the taste.
I guess I should have turned the microphone back on. So yeah, we got the commercials working. So if I go back, it should continue where I left off. But now I'm noticing that it's losing like the last second of sound from each commercial, which kind of annoys me. Okay. Now we had an issue, right, where the text was going across. Okay, good. Okay. So we don't want it to we don't want the chat to cover the Dear Bops. Let's see. Professor Brainy Specs is Bird of Prey. I heard you say that Cinema Saturday's ultra long Super Director's Edition 5D unrated version Indiana Jones and the King of Crystal Skull. That is not this Cinema Saturday. Saying somebody's drying out. Moxley fans is Bird of Prey. After these messages, we'll be right back. Absolutely. Robert Rose is Leonard Nimoy voiced Galvatron in the Transformers animated movie. Orson Welles was the voice of Unicron also. Very cool. Professor Brainy Specs is this inquiring mind wants to know why Bird of Prey denies his love for Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. It's quite obvious that it's his favorite movie. Moxley fan loves these old commercials. I'm glad you guys do. I'll add some more to them now that I've got that set up and working. Joseph Patrick points out that Canada Dry is wet. Brilliant insight there by our future man. And Professor Brainy Specs is give in to greatness. The greatness of Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I don't think so. Okay, I'm trying not to sneeze. I'm holding back a sneeze. Easlin says Bird is being hypnotized. He is showing Jackson of Star Command series. No, we're not watching Star Command. Okay. Dear Bop, can I ban Thomas Potts and Cinnabon? WC. No, WC, we're not banning either Thomas Potts or Cinnabon. They are both honored people here, as are you, Wesley. I mean, WC. So no banning. Dear Bop, when are you canceling YouTube Premium? They have removed many channels, and a few days ago they did let Tim Pool stream. And yet Thomas says he hasn't done any Dear Bops. I assume they didn't let Tim Pool stream. Let's put it this way. When Tim Pool pulls out of YouTube, I'll think about it. But clearly Tim Pool still prefers being on YouTube. Or he wouldn't be. Dear Bop, I can see it now. With all these streaming devices with a plus next to their name, I can see all cable channels will have a plus next to their name. ABC Plus, Bravo Plus, CBS Plus. They already have Discovery Plus already, which they do. ESPN Plus, Fox Plus, Game Show Network Plus, History Plus, Nickelodeon Plus, Oxygen Much, Ace Plus, HSN and QVC Plus, Sci-Fi Plus, Tennis Plus, USA Plus. I think you get the picture. Do you agree? What are your thoughts? Yeah, there are too many streaming services, but like Nickelodeon, and I don't know about Oxygen, like BET, National Geographic, and CBS are all part of CBS All Access, soon to become Paramount Plus. So that's like 5 or 6 channels in one. Discovery Plus has quite a few channels. And they also have some stuff from the History Channel. Though I tried the free trial of Discovery Plus, and I canceled it right away. Because I was more interested in the History Channel shows, and they only had like 1 or 2 episodes of a show, let alone all the seasons. So we need a service that has every season of every show on a particular channel. And preferably, we can pick the shows and pay for it on that type of basis. But yeah, no, it's bullshit. There's too many streaming services, and the market is not going to allow them all to exist simultaneously. Dear Bop, how many Turdistanis does it take to change a light bulb? None. They're so used to being in the dark, they never notice in the first place. Rock Solid is saying he did not write that. I didn't say you did, Rock Solid. I didn't say you did. Dear Bop, I have a small YouTube channel, and there are a bunch of people that have not forgiven me for the mistakes I have never recovered from. One mistake that I made back in December. Why will the very good people forgive my mistake? And why will some people not return to my channel and give me a second chance? I constantly think about giving everything up, and I do mean everything. So, dear Bob, what words of wisdom have you got for me? Okay, well, not everyone's going to forgive you all the time for everything. The time it takes people to forgive or forget, or maybe just forget, or maybe just forgive, varies. So, if most people have forgiven you for something you did this December, which was just a couple months ago, just keep it up. Keep up the good stuff. Keep up what you're doing. In time, I suspect more people will forgive you. And if they don't forgive you, they'll at least give you a second chance. Not everybody's ready to go back to things just 2 months after whatever it has happened. I have no idea who this is or what you're talking about or what happened. But if this is a legit question, and I'll assume it is, 2 months is not enough time for some people. It might be 3, 4, 5, 6 months. It might be a year. And you know what? If something happened, you might have to deal with the fact that some people might never forgive you. But that doesn't mean you stop, okay? It doesn't mean you stop, because there are other people out there, and if you've got a message, if you're enjoying doing YouTube, then you do it for you. You don't do it for the other people. Rock Solid says, Bird of Prey, the Plus Success email was signed Rocks. Oh, not me. I didn't notice that. No, it was signed Mox, Rock Solid. It was signed Mox, M-O-X. Rock Solid says, Bird of Prey, a streaming plus, not a success. Plus streaming, not a success. Sorry. Yitza says, please forgive me. Lent me go. I don't think that's Yitza. So the main thing here is just give it time. Give it time. Dear Bop, if anyone is available Wednesday evening at 8 p.m. Central, that's 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. for those of you in Rio Linda, I will be interviewing Intellivision CEO Tommy Tallarico on my channel. Tommy is a very polarizing figure and, can be a shit stirrer. As such, he's brought a lot of heat from internet trolls upon himself. If you are available, I could really use some help of 2 to 3 folks to help with the moderation of the chat. I've already pre-banned several people I know are troublemakers, but I don't want this to get out of hand. I'm not sold on the new Amico, pronounced Amico, for Bird and those in Rio Linda. I want to have a serious discussion without getting hijacked in chat. If you're available, I'd greatly appreciate it. Hail Bunnyland, RXP. If that is you, rock solid. Let's see, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. The reality of the situation, rock solid, is I'm often asleep, if not by 9, then by 9:30 p.m. But I'm starting a new antibiotic tonight. I don't know what my schedule is going to be like. If I can be there, I will, but I just can't make that promise right now, rock solid. But if there's anyone else out there who's hearing this and who knows rock solid and would like to volunteer, please do. It sounds like something I'll watch the next day, but it's just a little late for me. Of course, there's also the chance that I'll be wide awake if the pills affect me adversely. So I'm not saying no, I'm just saying I don't know yet. And that's a legit request. Joseph is asking if he's pre-banned. Yeah, that I am a little curious how you pre-ban people. I mean, if they weren't banned before, why would you ban them now? That just seems to be asking for trouble. Especially if people get pre-banned, then they know they could make another account in time for the stream. If you're going to just surprise ban them the night of, you might have had better luck. But I hope it goes well. I really do. And if I'm awake, I will be there. And I have no idea why he's a polarizing figure. I've never heard of him. Dear Bop, just a filming tip. When you have your monitor on with a ton of white in the background, turn the brightness and contrast down. It will help your camera not have to constantly fight to white balance properly and won't cause havoc with the brightness settings of the camera. On a range of 0 to 20, I set the TV behind me to 3 to 5 brightness. This seems to help prevent these issues. After all, I don't have issues. I have subscriptions. F Soft Putty, RXP. Thank you again, rock solid. Yeah, I know on the Marina Sirtis video, this screen was so bright, you couldn't even see the text in the article I was browsing. It just looked like it was a blank white page with a couple of pictures on it. I realize I have to, if I'm going to do another recording with this facing the camera, I've got to adjust the contrast and the settings on this. But it's kind of weird because I'll tell you, this already had the brightness pretty way down. But I suppose it's the contrast. Maybe it's the contrast. Dear Bob, I am curious. Have you ever seen Bill Murray classic Groundhog Day? You should. It's even better than The Crystal Skull, 204. Yes, I've seen Groundhog Day. Dear Bop, have you ever taken a walk on the wild side? Sling doot 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 doot. Hey Bop, take a walk on the wild side. Hey Bop. Okay. Though it's got nothing to do with this, I do need to bring up, for those of you who weren't on Captain Track's stream the other morning, you guys might remember that on Friday's Bed Life and on several Bed Lifes before, one of the regular people I got Dear Bops from was someone called Fang Fang, who appeared to have some sort of crush on me. She claimed we had a prior relationship, and more than once she said she was in the neighborhood and she was going to bring me food and she was going to be right over. And I didn't think much of it. I joked, fine, haha, and that was it. And I didn't ever think about it again. Then during Captain Trek's stream, I ordered lunch from Uber Eats, and when the Uber Eats tells you somebody's picking it up, they give you the name of the person picking it up. And sure enough, I think this was Friday morning or Saturday, Friday or Saturday, the person picking up my food was Fang Fang. And yes, it had the picture. It was a woman. And I couldn't believe it. Honestly, I thought, what were the chances? Having never seen somebody with that actual name in real life before. The first time I saw it was on Dear Bop, and then there she was, Fang Fang, was on her way with food, and I lost it. The people on Captain Track's channel, we lost it there. Apologize if some of the comments got a little they got a lot. They went past the line. People were making jokes. The intent was never to joke about her name or her ethnicity. The only reason I was showing it was because what were the chances? Well, it was like 1,000,000 to 1. It was like 1,000,000 to 1 chances that earlier that day or the night before, someone, so it had to be Saturday. Because the night before Dear Bop, I got a Dear Bop from Fang Fang, and then Saturday morning, Fang Fang was on their way to me with food. I couldn't believe it. I had to bring it up. It wasn't. And the Dear Bop said she was going to bring me food. It wasn't that she was just Fang Fang, but every time she signed off, she said, "Okay, I'm going to bring you food now. I'll be there very soon." And it's like Uber Eats says, "On her way, Fang Fang. She'll be there in 3 minutes." Oh my God, it was hysterical. MomOPrey had never heard the name before. I didn't mean anything else by it. I was only bringing it up because of that like literally I think it was like winning the lottery type chance. And I'm sure many of you guys would have gotten quite the laugh out of it. I do apologize. Some people took the Asian stereotyping a little far, and it was not the intent to do that. I want you to know. But it was funny. It was the fact that Fang Fang was the Uber driver was hysterical. Rock Solid says they don't know that they're banned. You normally don't have that much white on your monitor, though. This is true. Jedi Bill says, "Hey, Bird of Prey, have you ever watched Animal Planet? Has a whole bunch of great shows." I'm not a big Animal Planet fan. It's not that I hate Animal Planet or anything. It's just that I much prefer Science Channel, Discovery Channel, History Channel, Smithsonian Channel, and BBC America. Monty's Folly says, Bird of Prey, come on, guys. 27 upvotes and 32 of us watching. Slap the like button like you were beating your redheaded stepchild who speaks with a lisp. You know you want to. Oh, my God. Professor Brainy Speck says you should have played the lottery. I should have. Or really, I should have had Fang Fang play the lottery. Sci-Fi Nation's Bird of Prey, if it was the same person, go for it. I'm sure the person who was writing the Dear Bops was not actually called Fang Fang. And no. MomOPrey's curious who's writing the Fang Fang Dear Bops, because that's like you have some sort of ESP. No, Uncle Remus, it wasn't Thai food. It was Dunkin' Donuts. I got some egg and cheese on a croissant, and then a wake-up wrap. And this is a duplicate, so we'll delete that. And this is another duplicate. It would appear that we got 3 of these at the same time. Okay. And we got an email from Gary Katzer, aka Rock Solid. National Day of Calendar. February 22nd. And he says, this is what I do to not necessarily see what's happened historically on a day, but if the day has specific meaning, you can just change the month end of the URL to update each month's significant days. Today is February 22nd. It's National California Day, National Cook a Sweet Potato Day, and National Margarita Day. And he gave me a link there for the National Day calendar. Thank you. March 1st, March 2nd. I got all types of days coming up. Thank you, Rock Solid. Dear Bop, if assassinations are your thing, the tales of the people who tried to assassinate Queen Victoria are really interesting, particularly John William Bean. And there's a link to History Channel news. 8-time Queen Victoria survived attempted assassinations. He tried to shoot the Queen with a gun loaded with tobacco. Thank you, Monty. That's very interesting. I don't know that assassinations are my thing. They're just more interesting. Dear Bop, I too have a medical condition that prevents me from doing the things I used to be able to do. Due to your medical condition, are there any sports you wish you could play, like bowling or golf? Before I got sick, well, actually, yeah. Before I got sick, I used Sassy. She's barking at something. Before I got sick, I was going for weekly bowling night with friends out on Long Island. I was no good. I was not good at it. It was purely for the social experience. I couldn't have cared less about the bowling part. For a bowling ball, I got I ordered it online. It was a globe. It was the Earth as a bowling ball. The more seasoned bowlers laughed their ass off when they saw that ball. I thought it was fun. I liked it. But yeah, I sports. I really never played much sports. Yeah, it'd be nice to be able to bowl. It'd be nice to be able to mini golf, but I don't miss it. The things I miss the most, besides walking, hiking, was driving. Driving was how I cleared my head. Driving was, I'd love to just take a long road trip with friends or alone, in nice weather or snow. I just like to drive. I like driving. That's what I miss the most. That, and of course, seeing friends and family. Dear Bop, and a character that it can't show. Professor says, Bird of Prey, did you know that this week is Engineers Week? I did not, Professor. I did not. Dear Bop, the hometown of Milwaukee has a combined sewer system that collects and treats both wastewater and stormwater in the same network of pipes. Water flows through most of the sewers using gravity. Because of this, Milwaukee often has many issues with basement backups, floods, and other issues with capacity since the combined design is easily overloaded. Is New York also set up this way? No, it is not. The storm system and the sewer, the residential sewer system, or even commercial, is separate. That said, during bad storms, there have been reports of basements getting backed up, of water coming out of toilets and stuff that are in low areas of houses, which is nasty. But I'm not sure the physics specific to it, but I do know they're separate systems. Dear Bop, Ultra Magnus, not Ultimus. Okay, Ultra Magnus. Wasn't there an Ultra something Prime, though? I thought there was a second Prime. Optimus Prime and Ultimus Prime. Okay, Ultra Magnus is the one that was the train and the rocket. Okay, yes. Thank you, Ultra Magnus. Dear Bop, did you like Grimlock because he seemed like the most intelligent being you've ever seen, being a product of Carogan schools? No, not because he was the most intelligent being. I like Grimlock because he was funny. And Professor Brainy Specs puts in a link to Days of the Year. Link, thank you, Professor. Robert Rose Jr. says, horseshoes are played a whole lot here in the South. It's a great game to play. Rodimus Prime was, but that was Hot Rod turned into Rodimus Prime. There was another Prime. He wasn't in the cartoon much, if ever. Sci-Fi Nation says, Bird of Prey, they make one-way traps people can put in their basements or just before clean out access outside this house to prevent sewer water backups in the house. Yeah, but then the traps can become places where stuff can get stuck and cause their own problems. Hector says, New York sewers are a complicated network of systems carefully designed to properly nurture New York rats, the biggest of the country. Shuffleboard. I played shuffleboard once. I was on a cruise. I played shuffleboard once. Also at a bar, had like a hand, not a handheld, but a shuffleboard tabletop game. I was actually pretty good at it. Roxalt is Bird of Prey. No. Ultra Magnus looked like a whole Optimus Prime. Looked like a white Optimus Prime. Omega Supreme. Okay. Omega Supreme was tank with the rocket. You're saying Ultra Magnus looked like the white Optimus Prime. I could have sworn that was Ultimus Prime. I remember reading it as a kid. Is it possible they changed their name? I don't know. And Hector says, of course, New York rats are much smaller than the Moscow rats. Skee Ball. Skee Ball is love. Yeah, Skee Ball. That's fun. Space kissing her. Dear Bop, what do you think of how these Star Trek action figures look? Complete set. .com. These are the Voyagers of Star Trek action figures. Oh, these are like dolls. Okay, these are more of the action figures types I'm looking for. Trials and Tribulations. Yeah, like honestly, if I could get this, I'd be really happy. Like how much is that sold somewhere? Is that something I could buy? Or is this already so old that it's like we're looking at $200 worth of toys here? I don't want it for $200. I don't know how much it should cost, but I'm certainly not interested in it if it's particularly expensive. Because like I said, what I'm not going to be doing is keeping it on a shelf or anything. But yeah, those are exactly the ones I'm looking for. That's basically what I need. For whoever sent that. Those are the ones. Dear Bop, what do you think of how these Star Trek action figures look? And there's 2 more links, but I believe they're all the same link. Yeah. These are the Voyages of Star Trek action figure. Yeah, this is just a repeat of the same. Dear Bob, being from New York, can you eat Boston cream pie? I'm sure I could eat Boston cream pie, but I much prefer New England clam chowder than Boston cream pie. And not a big fan of cream pie. Rocks Odds is Bird of Prey. The Sentinel Prime was in the comics and live action movie voiced by Leonard Nimoy. Sci-Fi Nation says Bird of Prey curling. Just a great way to get old peeps to sweep the gymnasium floor. I never curled. I saw curling because I saw the Simpsons episode with it, but I never actually did that, and I don't think I ever would. Monty says, are you missing any figures in particular? Well, I don't have any. At this time, I don't have any Star Trek action figures. I never did. I never tried to collect them. I never had any use for them. But then I decided I wanted a set of some series. I didn't care which. Voyager, I figured, was probably the cheapest. So that's why I was thinking Voyager. I would like as many of the main cast as possible. If I have to buy them one at a time, I'll buy them one at a time. But if somebody has a whole set, that seems like it would save a lot of time and effort. Rocks Odds is Bird of Prey. No, Ultra Magnus never had a name change. There was also Alfred Tryon, who rebuilt Orion Pax into Optimus Prime and Vector Sigma, which was Cybertron's computer core. I don't know anything about that stuff, Rock Solid. If those are from comics, I would know nothing about them. The only thing I ever watched was the cartoon and the movie, which was also a cartoon. I had no comic experience. Dear Bob, is it the white one on this page? Yes, this is him. Ultra Magnus looked a lot like Optimus Prime. Okay, so it was Ultra Magnus. I guess I just remembered wrong. And yeah, he had the blue. Yes. He could turn into the big robot, the little Prime-like robot, and then he was also the truck. And the white truck was literally the exact same toy as Optimus Prime, just painted white instead of red. That's him. Dear Bop, click link. Check out these Star Trek action figures. Don't forget to click the link this time. I clicked the link. I've already been to this page. Is there another link on this page to click? Star Trek entered its 30th anniversary in 1996. Playmates delivered a diverse range of Star Trek action figures, a variety of series and films. Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Star Trek Voyager. There's no link. There's no link. See, like, I don't want Janice Rand. I mean, later at some point, maybe, but okay. I don't understand. This is also... I've been here. Worf. There's no... It doesn't even link. What did they... What the hell are they linking to? It says Worf. There's no... There's nothing about Worf that link brings me to. Oh God. And I see you made me sick. You threw Michael Burnham unexpected picture. Rock Solid says that's all from the cartoon. Wow, I must have missed half the cartoon. Monty's Folly says vertebrae, cool beans. I'll keep my eyes peeled for the track action figures for you then. If you see them, let me know what they cost, and what's available. Sci-Fi Nation says vertebrae. I also had the Micro Machines 3-pack that had the Enterprise D registry number upside down on the port nacelle. Oh, very cool. Monty says vertebrae. Also, are you interested in set places like the shuttle? No, not at this time. At this time, I just want action figures. And they don't need to have any... I mean, if they have accessories, that's fine. But I really don't care about the accessories. So if you have somebody who just has the action figures without the accessories, that's absolutely fine. Rock Solid's Bird of Prey. Ultra Magnus was voiced by Unsolved Mysteries Robert Slack. I believe you. I believe you. I wouldn't be able to pick out his voice, but I believe it. Okay, let's see. Is there any more Dear Bop? It appears we've reached the end of Dear Bop, so let's go back. Okay. So, for those who, again, don't watch Captain Track in the morning, where I'm usually at most of the morning. So, like, if there's news, I usually talk about it there. But I know a lot of people don't get over to Captain Track because they're still asleep. You said Lowell link. I clicked the link. Are those action figures the size you wanted? Yes. Dan, yes. Those are exactly the size action figures I'm looking for. Like the ones that were in that Star Trek Voyager picture. That's exact. Let me just to be clear. Let me go back one more time. And I click the link. And these guys, especially like right here, you got Janeway, you got Seven, you got Neelix, you got B'Elanna, you got Kes, Harry, the Doctor, Chakotay, Tom Paris, and Tuvok. if anybody has that exact set, and they don't have any accessories, they don't have any fancy stuff, they're not in the packaging, just those 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Those 10 characters. If somebody has those 10 characters for sale for like, I don't know, are they $10 a piece? $100 for the 10? Is that a fair price? I don't know. I don't know if that's a fair price. But if somebody had that for sale, I'd want to know. That's exactly what I'm looking for. And if they had this similar for DS9 or TOS or Enterprise, I'd also be interested in them. Although, like I said, I might have a TOS on the way, a TNG on the way. I ordered something this morning off Etsy. They didn't have a size specified. So I'm kind of afraid they're going to be super tiny, because it just seemed that they were too inexpensive to be this size action figure. So like I'm half concerned what I ordered from Etsy isn't going to be right because it was just ridiculously cheap. But if it is, all the better. Rock Solid says the key to Vecta Sigma was the name of the episode where the aerial bots were born. Alpha Trion was also in the episode. Sci-Vi's Bird of Prey is almost my age and can't tell Robert Slack's voice. Blasphemy. I don't even know the name. I don't even know who the guy is. I've never heard the name. I mean, obviously he's some big important guy in voice world, voice acting, but I have no idea. Nothing against him, but like I said, I never took notice of people's names. Unless I had really good reason to take notice of people's names, I never did. I could have watched movies over and over again and not at all, I not know anybody's name. Like Xena, okay? I know Xena is Lucy Lawless because she was in the Simpsons episode. Honestly, that's probably the only reason I know that she's Lucy Lawless. I used to watch Xena and Hercules every time they were on for, I don't know, a few years, right? They were on for a few years. I have no idea the actor or actress who played Gabrielle or played the dude that would go with them, the idiot guy. Not the faintest idea. Yeah, I know Xena only because she was on The Simpsons, the Lucy Lawless. It's like, wait, Xena can't fly. And she's like, I told you I'm not Xena, I'm Lucy Lawless. I said, oh, okay. It's very rare for me to take name of an actor. Executive producer Saul Leibowitz says, Bird of Prey, in lieu of canceling Marina Sirtis, we should cancel Star Trek Discovery and Star Trek Picard. That's not a bad idea. Although we're not canceling them. We need to be clear. We're not canceling them because Marina Sirtis said something stupid on Twitter. We're canceling them because they suck. That they're awful television shows, and every time they air, they do damage to Star Trek. They do damage to the legacy that is Star Trek. They hurt existing shows. They bring down the average, and we'd be doing the world a favor to end the series. Robert Rose is Bird of Prey. I just checked. eBay has a whole lot of Star Trek action figures. I checked, Robert, and they have them, but again, the ones that are in packaging are basically too expensive. I don't want them in packaging because I don't want to break a package. I don't want to open the package. If they're in packaging, let them be. For the people selling open packaged ones, it's very hard to see, very few are selling sets. And on eBay, if they're not a buy it now, I'm not going to put a bid on one and then wait 3 days to figure out if I won or not, because then I can't place a bid on another one in the meantime if I find a set. So I'm really just looking for places that are selling them as a buy it now price, and preferably for a set. Professor Brainy Speck says you need Naomi Wildman. I wouldn't mind getting Naomi Wildman at some point, or Ichub, or any of those other Borg kids, but I certainly don't need them to start with. Yeah, Neelix does look shorter than usual, and welcome, B. Sci-Fi's Bird of Prey, he did Unsolved Mysteries, and he was the federal head honch in Beavis and Butthead movie. Yosef says, take notice. I am Yosef. I have taken notice. Monty's Fives' Bird of Prey, Lucy Lawless was also a Cylon. You see, like that, I wouldn't have known. Rock Solid's Bird of Prey, Robert Stack, not Slack. Okay. Either way. But with that, guys, I think we're going to call it a Monday. I'm getting overheated here, and I need to take my pills soon, and hope it doesn't cause terrible heartburn. So thank you all so much for coming. If you haven't already, please do check out the video I released late last night on Marina Sirtis. The thumbnail just says Mean Girl ? And it's about what she said on Twitter recently. It could use some more views. Otherwise, I hope to see you guys tomorrow at some point. Now, they're supposed to come and fix the bed tomorrow, but they didn't make an appointment. So I'm not sure if that's going to be canceled or still happening. So I really have no idea what time I might or might not be on tomorrow. But I will try to get on when I can. And Rock Solid wants me to go back to Dear Bop. We'll go back to Dear Bop, Rock Solid, one last time tonight. If there's something there. If there's something there. Then there's nothing. There's nothing new here. So, okay. No Dear Bops. That's fine. Sci-Fi Nation says, great stream, Bird of Prey. Monty's Fives, Bird of Prey, Nightman. Hope you're okay with the meds. Me too. Qapla all. Thanks for coming. And Bird out. Thank you all for watching my video. Please remember to comment, like, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that bell icon. Without it, you won't get notifications of new videos. Check out BirdOPrey5.com, the new home of everything Bird of Prey 5 on the web. You can also check out my forum at juot.net. I'm also on social media, on Facebook, Twitter, and Gab. If you'd like to make a donation, check out paypal.me/BirdOPrey5 or on BirdOPrey5.com. Take care.